South East London against smoking Bert Cooper. 10 rounds, a heavyweight contest once again. And Bob Kempster, how can you contain yourself? Here's Bert Cooper in good form, beating Tyrone Booze. That was back in '86. And this is Cooper against Merciless Ray Mercer. Lost his NABF championship on points to Mercer. And I think it's fair to say that Bert Cooper, a very, very hot and cold performer, but took and gave some good punches here. And this was probably Mercer at his absolute best, I would say. And then what a fight he gave Evander Holyfield. Who can forget that in November of '91? I didn't personally count it down as a knockdown, but the referee did. The definition, of course, of a knockdown at any other part of the body, with the exception of the soles of the feet touching the canvas, but it wasn't the case with Holyfield. So that's the main event for you. Over to Michael Bluffer.
Budweiser present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace. 3 physicians at ringside, Dr. Frank B. Doggett, Dr. Eric Wormser, and Dr. Stanley Rogers. The scoring will be done on a 10-point must system, and the judges are Tommy Kazmarek, John Stewart, and Joseph Pasquale, and the timekeeper is Lindsay Tucker. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Harrah's Atlantic City Casino Resort here in New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble!
And don't you just hate it when he does that?
In the heavyweight division, the referee for this contest is Tony Orlando. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim, he weighs 237 pounds, from London, England, a professional record of 19-5, 14 of his 19 victories by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Derek Williams.
So there's Derek Williams then, who's got 3 claims to fame, which I'll get to later.
The blue corner, wearing the black trunks with silver letters, he weighs in at 230 pounds. From Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania, he brings a professional record of 29 victories with 25 KOs against 10 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Smoking Bert.
So there he is then, smoking Bert Cooper. Never been a heavyweight champion as far as any of the ruling bodies are concerned, but he can fight. As I say, he's a very hot and cold performer. It just depends which Bert Cooper's going to turn up. Derek Williams should have been boxing Bruce Seldon. Seldon pulled out. Cooper's had 2 weeks' notice for this match. 10 rounds, and there's 3 claims to fame for Derek Williams. Former Commonwealth and European heavyweight champion. He's lost twice to Jean Chaney in European title fights, and also never laid a glove on Lennox Lewis in 3 rounds. Sorry, Derek. You know, sometimes you're instantly a fan of some particular heavyweights, and I was instantly not a fan of Derek Williams. Never have been, probably never will be. A little stumble there from Cooper. He's in the black trunks, a lot shorter. And you might remember, we had Michael Moore on the floor a couple of times before he got whacked out in 5. That was a WBO title challenge, in fact, in May of last year. So Cooper, a very dangerous puncher when he's in condition, and he doesn't look to be in condition for this. I think Derek Williams can thank his lucky stars for that. And I remember the early days of Derek Williams. Oh, not too bad so far for Derek in the opener. Well, a couple of good rights there for Williams. One to the body, one to the head. And Derek Williams claims to have been a sparring partner of Mike Tyson's, and really did fancy his chances against Tyson, I do believe. Cooper just rolls in, chucking hooks to the head, to the body, brings it up to the head nicely. But this is a good round so far for Derek. And then suddenly Cooper comes back. And that's a sensible punch for Williams to use, the right uppercut. And Derek Williams hasn't boxed for almost a year. Last fight, in fact, was against Lennox Lewis, who's the current WBC heavyweight champion, as of course we all know by now. Lasted 3 rounds with Lewis. Last few seconds then of round 1. And this looks like Derek Williams' round. Yep, I'll give that round to Derek. And Derek Williams first became Commonwealth champion, beat young Hormona, the New Zealander, in '88, knocked him out in 4 rounds. Then he beat his old pal, Trevor Huroy Curry, in a round in December of '89 to add the vacant European title. Lost it on points to Jean-Maurice Chanet, the balding ancient Frenchman, and claimed a bit of subversity in that one. So got a rematch and lost again. Made another defence of his Commonwealth title in '91, beat Jimmy Thunder. Stopped him in 2 rounds. Thunder just beaten by Henry Akinwanda on points over 12, again for the Commonwealth title. And all the good things I can say about Derek Williams, I think I've already said. But Bert Cooper, what a good fighter. I have to say, on his night. Took Evander Holyfield 7 rounds to get rid of Cooper in their WBA IBF title fight. Took Michael Moore 5. Last time out, Cooper was rather embarrassingly outscored by the equally ancient Mike Weaver in Beijing, in China. Lost on points in February of this year. Well, now Cooper finally gets some punches working. He rights over the top. And in his 13th fight, Cooper won the North American Boxing Federation Championship. He beat Henry Tillman. And Tillman was, don't forget, Olympic Games gold medalist. Then defended at points win over Tyrone Booz. In Booz's good days, I hasten to add. And then knocked out the very hard punching Spencer Chavez in 3. And again, another NABF title defence. Carl the Truth Williams was beaten in 8 for the USBA title. And on an off night for Cooper, and he's had a few of them, he's outscored over 10 rounds by Everett Martin. Pretty dour struggle that was. And another off night was got bashed in 6 by Nate Miller, cruiserweight. And that was just before the George Foreman fight, and Foreman finished him off in 2 rounds. In fact, Cooper quit. Can't say I blame him. He was outweighed by about 14 stone that night. At the end of the second, and that's a better round for smoking Bert Cooper. But just to show you what kind of turnaround in form that Bert Cooper can experience, he actually beat Orlin Norris, probably one of the best cruisers, in fact probably the best cruiserweight in the world at the moment, in February of 1990. Stopped him in 8 rounds. And Oh no, he took Ray Mercer 12 rounds. Good right there. Williams took that quite well. And then, of course, Riddick Bowe beat Cooper in 2. So, Bert, Blair, Cooper, BBC in action. Over 10 against Derek Williams. Nice jab for Williams to start this third. And Derek Williams, 6'5". And my old dad used to say it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And I'm afraid we haven't seen too much fight in Derek Williams. A license to print money. A man as big as he is looks to have squandered his abilities. And he could well be a man with his future very firmly behind him. I'll have to see how we get, of course, a result here against Bert Cooper. We're doing the absolute world of good. Wouldn't do too much for Bert Cooper, of course. I remember in '87 being at the York Hall when Derek Williams fought Jess Harding. And a lot of people, me included, thought that Harding won that one. But Williams got the verdict. Also remember him in '89 boxing Noel Corliss from Liverpool, winning in the first, and that form was rather deceptive. It looked like Noel tripped on something and stayed down for the full 10. Sorry, Noel. And the American journeyman Mark Wills was brought over to be fed to Williams, but he actually ended up beating Derek Williams on points over 8 in August of '89. And Derek Williams used to be handled by Mike Barrett, and then he switched to Frank Warren. Not quite sure who he's with these days, of course. Oh, and Derek Williams there looks like he's punching underwater. Right over the top from Cooper. And that's what I feared here. Derek Williams has got the size to maul all over Cooper. Of course, Williams can't have been too endeared by the switch of opponents. Bruce Seldon punches like lightning in comparison to Bert Cooper. And probably would have swarmed all over Williams, and I'm rather surprised in that Williams elected to take the match with Seldon in the first place. But can't, as I say, can't be too pleased about having to face Cooper. He's a tough man to beat, even on a bad night. And Derek Williams' punches lacking any type of authority. Good right hook from Cooper. And of course, the Americans have got this horizontal heavyweight view of British fighters. And Derek Williams might not do too much to enhance their opinion. So, a rather lacklustre round there from Williams, so I'm going to give that round to Bert Cooper. Scored with enough hard punches anyway.
I would like to reintroduce the gentleman at ringside. His name was misintroduced at first. He's one.
Every day, Eurosport News brings you the latest from the world of sport. The best coverage, the day's results. The most up-to-date sports news brought to you by Eurosport commentators. Eurosport News is brought to you by EasoStar, the fast isotonic thirst quencher. And High-Tech Sports, the official shoe of the Wimbledon Championships. Eurosport News, Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m. here on Eurosport.
Replay for here from the fourth. A good right hook there from Bert Cooper in replay, and again. And Derek Williams taking these punches rather well. The only man to have stopped him, of course, was Lennox Lewis, and that was last time out. Round 4, and at this point I've got Cooper in front by 1 point at 29-28. And I'm sure Bert Cooper's had harder sparring sessions so far, although Derek Williams might produce something. Well, that's not too bad. Our Bernstein's card showing the same score as mine. Something must be wrong. Well, I've got a nasty feeling that one day Derek Williams might just wake up in the morning and say, what on earth have I forsaken? What have I thrown away? No bad intentions behind any of those rather weak and slow punches from Williams. Referee Tony Orlando there wants some more action. Must admit, so do I. Once again, Cooper thumping away. Well, at least Derek Williams can claim something I can't, and he was a former Commonwealth and European champion. And that's nothing to be sniffed at, I must admit. Derek's had his times, he's had his moments, but this doesn't look like it's going to be one of them. Oh, good shot. Cracking punch there from Cooper. And you've got to hand it to Williams. He does take some good wallops. He has had to here so far.
Come on, let him go, let him go. Come on, let him go, Derek. Come on, step back. Come on, let him go.
Well, combination coming in for Williams. 20 seconds to go then in round 4. Williams claims to have been troubled by back trouble since about 1984. Don't know the nature, of course, of his back complaint. But although Derek Williams probably scored with 2 reasonable combinations in the 4th, I don't think he's won the round.
You're doing nothing. Nothing.
Mouthpiece.
You're throwing your punches just with your arms.
The pity pattern, Derek. Let them shots go.
You're doing nothing. You're letting this guy steal this fight.
Come on, don't tell us what you're doing. Just go out and do what he's telling you to do.
You ain't doing shit there.
Come on, Derek. Let the hands go.
Derek, you ain't doing shit, Derek.
Come on, Derek. Son out here, baby.
Derek, you ain't doing nothing.
What are you giving this guy a fucking fight? Come
You're
on,
doing nothing.
I just thought I'd let you listen to the very colourful chat from the cornermen there, and they've just about summed it up, haven't they? Round 5 then. So 39-37 on my card. And that's with 4 rounds gone. And you might remember I think the second time that Williams fought Jean Chaney, there was an almighty punch up in the crowd. Well, Williams here trying to do a bit of work. Must be remembered, of course, that better men than Derek Williams have failed to beat Bert Cooper. And I was chatting to my mate Bob about this fight, and he reminded me that young kids throughout the country, as amateurs, box their absolute hearts out for nothing more than an alarm clock or an electric blanket, or a canteen of cutlery, and you get a man in the position of Derek Williams, and what does he do? Makes you so angry. Frustrating. And I've seen the Telegraph poll with more mobility than Derek Williams. must say that Bert Cooper's not particularly impressive either. And it's a good job too, isn't it? Otherwise, the old horizontal heavyweight that the Yanks have been regarding the Brits as over the years might just come true. Well, at this point, this one could be stopped to save the crowd from further punishment. And Derek Williams' idea of a combination so far in this one is a jab and a grab. And Williams used to nickname himself Sweet D. And I won't tell you why, because it's rather distasteful. But nothing sweet about Derek Williams here tonight. This hurrah's casino. And, well, I'm not going to get around to Williams. I just don't think, even if he did win it, I don't think he deserved to. So now I've got Cooper 3 points in front. 5 gone, 5 rounds to go. This is the 6th.
Come on, keep those hands loose. Come on. Come on, let him go. Go, Derek. Break! Step back.
And even referee Terry Orlando there trying to spur Williams into some kind of activity. And just for the record, Williams 19 wins, 5 losses, and 14 of those wins inside the distance. Bert Cooper 129, lost 10, 25 by the stoppage. Well, same score as me, Mr. Bernstein. Some slightly better moments for Williams here in round 6, halfway stage. And Derek Williams at the moment showing the kind of form that might get him a shot at the IBO or WBF championships. The tape come loose on Cooper's gloves. Nice right from Cooper. Walks in with a left hook. Scintillating stuff, and once again I think Cooper's edged it.
You got the fight all the way. You got the fight all the way. You win, so just take your time and punch and don't punch.
To be fair though, I thought Derek had his share of opportunities in that 6, I should say. And I think, as I say, all this taping of the cuff is really a self-inflicted injury. They shouldn't bother this, just let the sleeve take care of it. There's no danger of a glove really slipping off, providing it's done up correctly. Derek Williams walking around as if he's in a trance here. This could be the biggest moment of his fistic career. It looks like he's about to blow it. Round 7 then. And smoking Bert Cooper looks like he's had a bucket of water thrown over him as well. Williams threw 46 punches and landed 9, according to the computer. In the 6th round, well, I must admit, I was slightly more generous than that. And this, I suppose, you could call heavyweight boxing at its very worst. But it's worth seeing, principally because no one will believe you if you told them about it, so that at least they get a chance to see. Pretty sure that either Jeremy Williams or Shannon Briggs, who we featured earlier in the programme, would both do a job on Derek Williams, let alone the old veteran Bert Cooper. In fact, they probably beat Cooper as well, and they're mere babies in terms of experience. And there's one good thing to say about Derek Williams in this 7th round. He's taken some pretty hefty whacks. But that's about it, I'm afraid, Mr. Williams. 64 plays 69 in favour of Cooper.
Tape those gloves. Come on. Tape the glove. Who got the tape?
Water. Suck it up.
Donington, the 1993 Grand Prix of Europe. Official practice. The warm-up, the race, unique coverage. Eurosport brings you all the action live from every Grand Prix. The 1993 Grand Prix of Europe is brought to you on Eurosport by Ford. In association with Pioneer. And Elf Petrol, world champion.
The Grand Prix of Europe official practice Saturday 1:55 p.m. live. The warm-up Sunday 10:30 a.m. live. And 3 p.m. live from Donington, the Grand Prix here on Eurosport.
Oh well, here we go. Round 8 coming up. This is a bit of replay from the 7th. And I tell you something, I've actually expended more energy in my sleep than Derek Williams has expended in this 7 rounds we've had so far.
Come over with the overhand right. Bam, bam, up. Use your jab sometime to work good. Okay? More hurt.
What's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong?
Something wrong with my tongue, he says. It's probably something like a nasty taste in his mouth.
String on my tongue. You all right? Come on.
So, round 8 then, 3 to go. At this point, I've got Bert Cooper with 69 points and Derek Williams with 64.
Come on, let him go. Come on, let him go.
And there's a very real chance that Williams will never be invited back to an American ring, of course, unless it's to get bashed out by the likes of Shannon Briggs or some other up-and-comer. The name of the former European and Commonwealth heavyweight champion on your record, not too bad a thing to have. He couldn't have had an easier shot, though, when the Commonwealth title was up for grabs against young Hormona. And Trevor Curry was probably over the top when Williams caught him cold in the first round. I think that was in the Lewisham Theatre in Catford. Double quick time for Derek Williams, that win. And I hate to sound so disparaging against one of our own, but one of our own, I think, should be doing a bit more to make us proud. And there's not a chance in a million years that Derek Williams could ever knock Bert Cooper out, as the English voices from the audience are imploring, beseeching.
Keep those punches up. Hey! Watch your head.
Of course, Williams could always be trying to lure Cooper into a false sense of security. And Cooper's corner shouting, "Come on, he's a walking mummy." And whilst these two are thumping away at each other, fixtures for next week on the 10th of April, Swansea Leisure Centre. Nicky Piper defending his WBA Pentacontinental Super Middleweight title. And at the Royal Albert Hall on the 14th, the rubber match between two genuine good fighters, Andy Till, Wally Swift, British light middleweight title. That's a Frank Maloney, Harry Holland promotion. Well worth seeing.
Right? Derek, look at me. We win these 2 rounds, we win the fight.
Yeah, okay. Hear that? Derek, look at me. You win these 2 rounds, you win the fight. Who are they trying to kid?
Cooper's laughing at you.
I'm not surprised, so's everyone else.
Come on, Derek.
And Derek Williams falling further and further behind as we enter the penultimate round. And this is the kind of fight you want to send on video to your worst enemy and insist they watch it. Having seen so many fights over the years, in 20-odd years, I'll tell you something, few are as immemorable as this one. Look at that, landed 7 of the 46 punches he threw, according to the computer. And Bert Cooper missed with just 7 of the 32 he threw. Of course, to some people, this would be right top of the range boxing, but I'm afraid not to me. So once again, back to the old jab and grab from the South Londoner, Derek Williams. To say, he can't have been too happy about the switch in opponents, because he might have had an earlier night if he'd have fought Bruce Seldon. And you know what I mean. And Derek Williams is very, very deceptive. He's a lot slower than he looks. Williams a pro since October 1984. Cooper turned pro a month before in September. One of these days, Williams is going to kick himself, unless he gets to me first, of course. And Cooper there warned about keeping his punches up. Oops, a little clash of heads there. Williams must obviously be having severe problems with his back.
This guy's looking good, Derek. Let me get the back.
Derek, you gotta go this round. You gotta fucking throw punches.
The last round. Can you give us 3 minutes all the way? Yeah. You sure?
Well, let's go. Do it. Don't stop punching. Keep jabbing.
No, you gonna win. You gonna win this round. You won the 10th round. You don't won the fight. Okay. Shit, but he didn't hear. Yeah, I'm sure. Here and there, came out of there.
But that's what you're talking about. The reason why I want you to win. Do I just hit him?
No, you done won. Okay. But go on and finish it.
You gotta get this round.
Here, bam. You need this round.
You need this round.
Right there. So right there.
Okay.
So
Let's have a little bit more of the inaction in round 9. So the 10th and final round coming up. Derek Williams against smoking Bert Cooper. Good body shot there from Cooper. But don't forget, Williams' corner said a couple of rounds ago, you've only got to win this next 2 rounds, you've won the fight. I don't know which fight they're watching. And Cooper, of course, has just been told and spurred up the same score as me, 89-82. Just been told that he needs this last round to win, so that's going to bring a bit of action from Cooper. Of course, he's not stupid enough to know that they think he's behind. But Williams has got a little nick on the left eye. And I'd rather Williams didn't box at all than box like this. It's the highest class opponent, with the exception, of course, of Lennox Lewis and Jean-Maurice Chanet, that Williams has ever been in with. So I say that in his defence, of course. I'm sure when they said to Bert Cooper, you're fighting Derek Williams, he must have said, Derek who? And Cooper's actually boxed in London once. He knocked out Ian Priest from Derby in the first round in his 3rd fight. Good stiff jab there from Cooper. Williams looking a bit marked now under both eyes. I think he's cut on the left as well. And just over 30 seconds to go before this miserable affair comes to an end. And I think after this, 9 rounds to 1 would be a pretty fair assessment. Williams had his best moments in the opener and probably took it, but hasn't won a round since. Or hasn't deserved to win a round since anyway. But we'll have to wait on the judges. Oh, it's all over. And Cooper immediately raises his glove, as he should. But nothing really to be too pleased about there. Cooper's performance was pretty poor as well. I sometimes wish my name hadn't come up. But there you are. When I meet Mr. Williams in the street, I'm sure he'll let me know what he thinks. Might have the Derek Williams fan club on my back. A letter might come flooding in.
Go congratulate him, Bert.
So we wait for the judges' scores. Let's just see how they turned it out. So 99-91 for me, which is 9 rounds to 1.
What's up, man? He took a good shot. Yeah. He took some good shot. What you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards here in Paris, Atlantic City. John Stewart and Joseph Pasquale scored about 99 and 91.
Same as me.
Eric has it 99 to 92 for the winner by unanimous decision. Smoke!
Yep, Cooper gets it. 99, 91, 99, 92. And he's absolutely delighted.